Today we will see what business started by targeting a different consumer than it eventually sold to. Welcome to the Question Answer channel, the channel where you will find the answer to everything. I thank Sean Kernan, Gabe Bautista, Tom Story and Chris Smith for answering this question. We'll start with Sean Kernan's first answer.
Raymond founded Victoria's Secret following an experience in his marriage. He had gone lingerie shopping for his wife, getting her a present for an upcoming milestone. It wasn't his first time doing such shopping. In every instance, he said he always felt extremely weird and would get judgmental stares from behind the counter. And so, being a businessman also, he came up with the idea to make a lingerie store for the male partners to shop for their wives without judgment. The term Victoria's Secret originated from the idea that even pure women from the Victorian era also wore lingerie. Source: The Untold Truth of Victoria's Secret. Fung, Althea. Its initial design looked very much like a brothel, and its initial customer base did indeed attract men. But they quickly began to pivot, as more women kept flocking to the store. The founder, a Stanford MBA, continued to evolve the business, weathering near bankruptcy, and eventually built the empire that it became today. But the big takeaway here was that Victoria's Secret was originally a store for men, which I found interesting.
We continue with Gabe Bautista's answer.
YouTube. YouTube was started as a dating site. The idea was good, have people post videos of themselves instead of pictures. Turns out people didn't want a dating site with videos, but they did want to see videos. YouTube then pivoted to being a video site by recognizing what the market did want.
The next answer is from Tom Story.
I wrote about this a couple of years ago here. An apple processor, New England Vinegar Works out of Littleton, Massachusetts had been operated by the same family for 2 generations. They made cider vinegar and apple juice gallons and quarts for supermarket chains. This was a white label product. The grocer would put their own brand on the bottle. Of course, they operated a bottling line. A couple of reps from Corning Glass showed up one day with a new glass bottle. I think it was called a cub bottle. As the bottling line could be adjusted for this new vessel, the rep suggested selling the house apple juice in this cool new single-serving container. This was a big effing deal for a 50-year-old private label juice company. They needed a brand and a strategy. They figured they had the channel. They called up supermarket chains, Stop & Shop, Big Y and others, whom they had supplied for years, and got shelf space for their new 6-packs of single-serve apple juice. And nothing happened. The sales numbers were a quarter of projections. Nobody bought the damn things. Usually, there's sort of a meeting at the bottling plant and maybe give it a few more weeks and bag it. As happens in life, a scruffy sales representative was at the plant that day. He admired the new bottles and promptly ordered half a trailer load of them. This wasn't a big deal. The product was already in 65 grocery stores. Not a word until 6 weeks later. This time, a full trailer load went out. Who the hell you selling these to? In the late 70s in New England, gas stations had a pop machine and that was it. The conversion of fuel stops to convenience stores was just beginning. The representative had been selling in the convenience store market and they ended up going wide before selling the company to Kraft Foods for more dollar than you can count. Very fine juice company. This is the bottle that no one anywhere in a supermarket wanted to buy. Once they started selling them one at a time out of the reefer in a convenience store, grand slam home run.
We continue with Chris Smith's answer.
There was a guy who had a store in the early to mid-1800s who imported decorative shells from Asia to sell in London. His kids began turning it more from a shop into an import-export company with Japan and China after building those relationships and seeing a new way of increasing their income. So they focused more on transportation and less on the sales of those collectibles in the shop. When the oil boom hit, they got together and figured out how to build the first oil tanker that could fit through the Suez Canal. And their father's shell company had little to do with actual seashells anymore. When they liked a name, they just stuck with it, I guess. One of those brothers' names was Samuel. Lol. Nintendo started making card games, then got into electronic gaming. How many people think of buying records when they go to the Gap? It started as a record store. That also tried selling jeans, they didn't sell well. When you think of LG, most people think of appliances, TVs, phones. Not makeup and cosmetics. When you think cards and stationery, Hallmark comes to mind. Tiffany's doesn't anymore. Nokia was known for their tough as nails phones more than their tough tires and rubber shoes.
This is the end of the video. I hope you have more answers. You can now subscribe if you like the video more. Remember to also leave a like, it helps for the referencing on YouTube. Friends, it's now the end of this video. Remember to leave a comment to tell us if these answers are more for you. See you soon.